Hello and a very warm welcome to this special ET Studios at ET BrandEquity DigiPlus Fest 2025, powered by CleverTap. Now today we deep dive into from first click to forever, how to keep users coming back for more. In an era where customers are bombarded with choices, building loyalty has become the real competitive edge. So today we have with us two leaders who bring diverse perspectives on this. Do join me in welcoming Anuj Nevatia, co-founder and director at Bacca Bucci, and Anuj Malhotra, Vice President Sales India at CleverTap. Gentlemen, a very warm welcome to ET Studios. Thank you for being here. Such a pleasure to have this conversation with you today.
Thank you for having me here.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. So Anuj and Anuj, you are here truly as our industry experts from two very different perspectives, but yet we are here to talk about one topic, which is from first click to forever, right? And what does it mean? How do brands today really work on keeping that customer loyalty, that customer engagement, and ultimately having a forever customer? So let's kickstart right away. Before we start, I'd like to ask each of you just a small rapid fire question, which is what was one experience that you've each had as a customer that made you that forever customer to a brand?
All right. So I'll share my recent experience with the glass that I'm wearing right now.
Okay.
So I like having a collection of glasses. So I prefer larger ones, the larger frames. So I was looking for brands, wherein I can also see something that's different from everyone else that they are doing in the market. And I found this brand. This is Birch Posh, and they are into designer glass frames. And also there is another brand that I found, Sam and Marshall. So all of these brands, they are genuinely trying to get into the market gaps.
Yes.
Otherwise it looks like more of a cluttered market, but they have understood that there are audience who genuinely like wearing glasses of certain types, and they as a D2C brand, they had that audacity to take risk of introducing these styles, and I think that really got me, and I have now become their forever fan.
Wow, superb. So unique design perspective.
Yes.
Wonderful. All right, Anuj, to you.
It's one of the banks that I bank with, and I've had unique experiences on both sides. So when the experience was good, I did buy more from the bank, insurance and home loan, etc., from the same bank. But when the experience was bad, I just kind of moved out of the bank very quickly.
Yeah.
And it's been now almost about 5 years. I've not been banking with them. So it's very important the kind of experience the brand is delivering.
Absolutely.
It's a make or break.
Yeah, absolutely. So it works both ways
Yes.
here. Yeah, definitely. Great to hear this from two, again, experts. So Anuj, so now coming to you as a fashion and lifestyle brand, and especially a brand like yours, you're catering to the youth, to the Gen Zs, like really the culture that's so in to the fashion and lifestyle space today. What strategies would you say really work for you that take you beyond just customer acquisition, but we're looking at retention, right? Again, from one click to forever. So what are some of the strategies that works for a brand like yours?
See, I feel when you are into fashion, it's very important to first understand your consumer behavior. What are your target audience? So for us, it's more of Gen Zs and millennials.
Yeah.
So Gen Zs these days, they go for brands which has a good storytelling into it. They for them, product is also important, but that's secondary. First, what they prefer is a brand which has a real good storytelling, and that's exactly what we focus a lot on Bacca Bucci, on giving them a good UGC content, giving them good unboxing experiences, good fit checks. All of these really help Bacca Bucci to sort of give them reason for keep coming back to us. And it's more like what are the kind of launches and how have we communicated them, how have you been able to give that emotional relevance for them to trust us. So that genuinely helped us a lot in our journey.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you for that. Yeah, we're going to deep dive a bit into the emotional connect aspect. But before that, Anuj, to come to you, again, from your very interesting vantage point of working with so many industries and so many sectors, what would you say are some of the differentiations in your retention strategies that you recommend? For example, of course, there's a very high churn, high frequency food delivery service. Then we have fashion. So what is the differences? Does it shift depending on each industry?
Of course, each industry has their own nuances, but I think largely what is working is hyper-personalized communication. Anuj brought up the point on data and understanding the users. So if you have, the user has come, he's bought your product, you have some understanding of his likes, interests. As long as you are personalizing the communication to the user, which is relevant, contextual, at the right time, users appreciate that. That helps you build trust. It's a value exchange happening with the user, and so I think that's really the key.
Yeah, absolutely. So now, Anuj, to come back to your initial point about building that emotional connect, right? Can you take us a little bit deeper into this? Again, digital brands, new age brands like yours, you do rely a lot on digital storytelling, right? So can you take us through some of the thought process and the steps of creating that storytelling? And what is the significance here of the emotional connect with your consumer?
So I'll just give you an example of what we do at Bacca Bucci. So for example, if we look from a bird's eye view, it will look like a cluttered space, entire footwear
Yes,
as a category.
absolutely.
But then when we deep dive, we see that we are 140 crores as Indians. And if you deep dive, you'll see there are a lot of gaps in the market. One such gap that we recently identified is that people have started liking wearing sneakers under ethnic wear. Even the brides have started wearing sneaker under their lehengas, and the guys have started liking wearing sneakers under kurta and pajama. So that's one story where we found that, okay, there is this gap. There is no brand who has actually launched ethnic sneakers. So Bacca Bucci recently launched Rangreza, which is ethnic sneakers line. Now, coming to story, if we would have just gone there and started showcasing our product, that these are products, go and wear, they'll never buy it. We have to make sure we are backing up with a good emotional connect, a good story around it, that see, this is how you should style, these are the influencers and celebs backing it, so that it creates credibility towards that entire thing that you want to communicate. So these have really worked for us. This is one such example. Then we also do a lot of boots for bikers. So recently we got a feedback from someone who went to minus 50 51 degrees Celsius in Russia, and he actually wrote us an entire one-page feedback mentioning that how our boot helped him skid off the cliff after he met with an accident. So that was really emotional for us as a founders also. So, it's very important for you to, and now what we did is we took that feedback, we created a story around it and allowed other bikers in the community to know about it, that see why you should trust us. So it's very important how you tell them, your TG, that why you should back us, why you should trust us. These are the reasons. We have real life examples. All of this is very important these days to be communicated.
Yes.
So
Yes.
that's how we do our content.
Wow, thank you for sharing that. And yeah, to your point about influencers, I mean, of course, we live in an era where influencer marketing is so key. Another trend that's building on top of that is the micro influencers, right? Or the
Right.
highly regional influencers, the really specialized ones
Correct.
that maybe don't have that access to millions.
Correct.
It's a smaller target base, but very, very specific,
Correct.
right? Would just love to understand your take on that. And does that really impact the way your brand connects with the audience?
Yes, it's very relevant. I mean, you have brought a very good point. So this is exactly what we are doing. Again, I'll continue with the Rangreza itself. So what we did with Rangreza is that we identified these regional creators in Bengal who can actually wear this for Durga Puja. And then we identified some good creators on Ahmedabad who can actually wear these Rangreza sneakers for the Dandiya nights, right? So all of these really make sense because India is huge. We are versatile, we are dynamic, we have multiple religions. So it's very important you speak to everyone.
Yes.
And when you see, when you speak to everyone, there's a halo effect that comes and builds the entire overall brand trust. So that's how we have been tapping on regional creators, and I feel it's very important to tap on macro creators because those are real voices of India.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for that. Anuj, love to get your thoughts on this. Of course, from a CleverTap perspective, it's slightly diversified here, but just as we are seeing all these wonderful new trends coming up, right? And each brand is really understanding how to harness exactly which trend in marketing suits them. Just, yeah, how do you see this journey panning out?
Yeah, so in our tool also, for example, we've integrated AI, Gen AI, and a lot of the content is getting created using, the AI tools, right? And what we are seeing is that marketers are, then able to spend more time doing other things. And the content, what is the kind of sentiment that you want to invoke, whether it's a FOMO, whether it's trust, whether it's any other sentiment, AI will help you actually define that. Then you can convert it into vernacular multiple languages, and then you can look at which is the best channel, for reaching out to the user and what time.
Yes.
So that, I think that is the one shift we are seeing with all the AI coming in.
Wow, fascinating, yeah. And Anuj, again to this entire space with fashion, lifestyle that is so fast changing, right? You're looking at creating that forever customer base, so surely consistency is very important, but at the same time, freshness and innovation is at the heart of your industry, right?
Right, that's
How do you
true.
keep that balance going?
I mean, it's very, very right. So it's very important because these days people get bored very easily. I mean, if you do not keep them giving reason to come back and buy, they'll genuinely move to someone else. And it's very important that keep giving them something that you have done earlier, and now what you have done is something different from what you have done. But then again, there has to be some sort of consistency.
Yes.
That trust should be there. I mean, if I was selling something that was A, I shouldn't be selling something now Z. I mean, that should be something A plus, So that is what we do. So when we innovate, we try and see, what was that, people liked, what worked really well for us, and what is that we can now just, add on top of it to make a better version of the previous launches that we have done. And that is how we innovate keep innovating our new styles.
Okay, that A plus
That
strategy.
A plus strategy, yes.
Okay, wonderful.
In fact, even on the tech side, and using AI again as an example, a lot of the recommendations which are being generated are basis users' past
True,
behavior.
yes,
What have they
yes,
liked,
yes.
disliked,
Right,
and,
right.
so that also helps.
Yeah, wonderful. So, I mean, could you kind of take that one step further and tell us any specific strategies that you're really observing that help D2C brands, new age brands, fashion brands, because that's what we are here to talk about, create that one-time buyer into a forever buyer?
So a lot of experimentation can happen using our tool, and one of the nice use cases that we saw where conversions really went up was one of the D2C brands. They were doing at the time of checkout. And a cart abandonment use case when the user not actually converted but left the cart abandoned and moved on. And we, naturally we've been thinking that, and marketers have been thinking to reach out to the user immediately, nudge the user immediately to come back. But using an experimental tool, which we call a feature called as IntelliNode, you can actually define the time gap and run 3-4 parallel experiments, reaching out to users in a 15-minute gap or a 30-minute gap or a 1-hour gap. And we saw that the users who were nudged after 1 hour were the maximum users who came back and fulfilled the journey. So I think a lot of marketers are doing all these experiments, and that is helping them, understand better their users.
Super fascinating. Thank you so much. Thank you both of you. You've shared such great insights here today. Before we wrap up, just if you can leave our viewers with one key takeaway, we're talking to an audience of marketeers and so much more, brands such as yours, of course, in their own journey. What is one key takeaway that you think is very integral to really keep that user coming back for more?
Well, so I have always believed in one fact that while I say a lot about storytelling, a lot about trust, a lot about, a well-defined discount-led campaigns time and again, but not obviously every other day. All of these are important, but collectively, if I have to say for a longer run, what has always been great for us or for a lot of other brands as well is if you were able to deliver value to that customer or not. So that's the key. The overall conclusion of every effort that you do should be that, yes, I was able to deliver value. And once you have achieved that, only then that particular customer is always going to come back to you because they genuinely felt, that I was delivered worth for every penny that I have spent.
Yes, wonderful.
So I believe in delivering value. That's been the story of Bacca Bucci as well.
Thank you. Anuj?
Yeah, fantastic, and completely agree. Delivering value, building trust, and using AI, etc., all these tools to deliver more hyper-personalized experiences.
Yes, absolutely. Value, trust, and of course, hyper-personalization.
Yes.
Truly some key tools here. Thank you so much, gentlemen. It's been such a pleasure to have you on ET Studios and hearing all your insights so candidly as you've shared today. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Devina.
All right, as we come to a close of this insightful conversation, what comes through clearly is that retention isn't just about gimmicks, it's about relevance, consistency, and listening closely to your customers. Whether in fashion or across industries, the goal remains the same: creating experiences that makes users want to return not just once, but forever. Until next time, many thanks for watching.